Okie dokie, I believe we are all the way live. Hello and welcome to my graveyard. I'm your host of the evening, the Cemetery Man from Salem, Mass. Always taking names of King Candy ass. Live in the cover here with you, a Grande's graveyard. And tonight I've got a very, very special guest. You might just call him a maniac. I don't know by that little stash he's got going there. He is the one, the only AJ Zetro. What's going on, good brother? How are you tonight?
I told you not to go out tonight.
Yes. I knew. I was like, I was passing that to you, and I knew you were gonna stuff it in. That was. I get the assist for that, sir. Dude, when I like got the, I invited AJ to the StreamYard thing, and he was wearing that. I fucking laughed for like a good minute.
I gotta take it off because my head's hot, and I look like Oliver Hardy now.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude, you do now.
Take this shit off. What's up, Grande?
Dude, nothing, man. How are you since the last time I seen you? You seen anything good lately? How's life been?
Doing good. I've been watching a lot of Maniac, all that stuff. To keep our little tradition here, I guess if you want to call it a tradition, I got a little something special for you if I can get the damn thing open.
I think it's soda. I'm going to take a wild guess.
Yep. Chicago's best or whatever, Green River. Are you familiar with this?
I am not. Never heard of it. Tell me what it is.
It's like a traditional beer, soda that comes out around St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, okay.
And it's basically like a lime flavor, but it's Green River because they dye the Chicago River green for St. Patrick's Day. So they got the pop, and you get your soda, your Lucky Charms, your Green River. A lot of alcohol for St. Patrick's Day, so this is good.
Cheers, man. Who's better than you? That's really cool. I don't know if you ever had Jones soda.
Oh, yeah.
Jones soda. I remember me and my pops, we used to, this is years back, I'm talking 10 plus years, where we used to take a walk every Sunday night to town, and I would get a Ralph's Ice, and they had these Jones sodas, and they had the weirdest fucking flavors. They had one, it looked like that's what it reminded me of. It was like green apple, and it was like, man, so good. It was like a melted Jolly Rancher, but cold. It was super like sweet, but it was good. They had the blue lemonade. They had so many fun flavors, man.
I remember when they first. I was working. I think it was Jones. I was working at a comic book store, 1992, 3, and Jones had like a little fridge full of their cola, and they would have pictures of people on there, and you would send in your picture, and I'm pretty sure it was Jones. You got to check that out. And you send in a picture to him, and you might get your face just like, on a bottle. And it was funny because I'm like, what is this Jones stuff? And I was like, it's some new soda or something. Like, okay, pop soda, whatever you want, wherever you're from. And it was cool. Like you said, all the weird ass flavors and stuff. And it was like, this stuff is great. So they did okay, I guess, because they're nationwide now, I guess, but they're not putting people's faces on it anymore. I don't think.
I guess not.
Yeah.
No, I guess the milk carton idea where they put missing people on there. Maybe that put it to shame. I don't know.
Yeah. They put me on a 6-pack probably. Have you seen this guy?
Each like I know they do. I think Coca-Cola now, like they'll put a name on it. Like it'll be like this Coke's for whatever, like Dave or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why. Like I don't know. Like it's fucking weird to me. But
so you feel special, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. For you to go through all the bottles to find the one that says your name, like I feel like that's
or your friends, or your dads, or your grandpas, or your mom.
Yeah, like I like the idea, but at the same time, I don't know if anyone like if I don't care, I don't know who else would care. Like I would, the picture on the soda, that would be fucking cool. Like me on a blue lemonade Jones soda, I would mark out. That'd be the coolest thing of all time. They had bubble gum, like they had the weirdest flavors, but
it was just like a little itty bitty cooler. I don't know. One day I showed up to work, and there it was. I'm like, what is this? Like, oh, it's pop. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Try it out.
Did you ever read any comics? I don't know if we've ever discussed that, but what did you read?
Spider-Man, Batman were my two biggest favorites. Captain America. But I would go in like little spurts. I'd read them for a year or two, and I get frustrated with like all the crossovers and the price increases and the changing of everything, and this guy's dead or he's alive. Well, now he's alive. Well, now he's not. It's like I come back to it and it's like, oh, fresh start, and then the same things would happen again. So finally, probably about, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, it was getting expensive too. A comic now is like $4 an issue.
Yeah.
4 or 5. I'm like, you get 3 or 4 issues, you're like, Jesus Christ, I can't keep this up every week. So I just said that's it. I didn't like how they were changing everything. I'm an old man. I like the way things were in the beginning, and when they start changing them and stuff, it's like, nah, I'm good. So I'm officially, I might get a graphic novel here or there, or the Ebon Press stuff. That's awesome. I get that.
They have Maniac, right?
Yeah, Maniac, Zombie, all that's beyond. They're doing great stuff, and it's it's adult stuff. So it's R-rated comics. So and they give you all kinds of that. I stand behind them. Those guys are awesome. But it's like Marvel, DC, all that stuff. I'm done. I'll watch the movies. So
yeah, I feel
I got a ton of them. I got like, I don't know, 8 or 9 small boxes and 4 or 5 long boxes.
That's still pretty cool. Like I honestly never knew you worked in a comic shop. I actually last year, well, no, technically 2 years ago now. This was before Corona. I worked at Comic-Con in New York, in the city.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, it wasn't a big, like I did it for a friend. A friend was like, hey, we need an extra guy to help. And I was like, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
To get in for free, why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Just to see the brilliant cosplays and fans and stuff. It was really a eye-opening experience for me. Like just to see how, because we've gone to horror conventions plenty. I've never been to Comic-Con as a fan, only to work. But just to see like how big it is, and the amount of celebrities, that are considered by most, like they had Paul Rudd and Mark Hamill and stuff. And like, I know we were talking about, I think earlier this week, on how ridiculous.
Charging shit tons of money.
Yeah. Like Mark Hamill wants $250. He signed his name, spent 7 seconds with you, pat you on the back. And then like, that's bullshit, man. And like Paul Rudd, I think it was like $200 to take a picture with him, like a photo op.
Now I have $25 million and 200 in my bank.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. That's $200 that I will gladly, save.
Yeah. Glad I can help you out. I know you're hurting. Got to feed your family, right?
Yeah, I know you took a really busy time out of your day. You have an hour and 15-minute photo op, then you have places to be. Like I feel bad. Like it's lame, but no, that was really cool to me. And like I actually ended up, I was like, can I take a couple of these home? And the guy was like, yeah, absolutely. You helped us out great. So he let me take some home, and I've been reading those ones. He let me take like 10 or so home, and it was cool to kind of read, because I'm a big Spider-Man guy too. Also, I loved. I'm a huge Superman, like early stuff. I love that shit. So
yeah,
I got those two like out the wazoo. And I got my dad. Papa Grande is a big Batman guy, so I got him one. He didn't really. He was like, "Oh, cool," but he's not a big into reading them. He likes the movies and everything. And the Adam West, he grew up on that.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I was always more towards Marvel, and then DC was just like Batman, basically. Superman a little bit, but Batman. I got a shit ton of it, especially when the first movie came out. Well, I got a scrapbook full of stuff. It was great. Great time.
Really?
Great time to be alive, man.
That movie was huge when it came out, right? The Jack Nicholson one.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, I know, and the Joel Schumacher ones were big too. Like I know now they haven't aged well. I still like the Batman Forever. I like, but
I like all.
Like the biggest thing at the time, man.
Yeah, I like all the Batman ones. I mean, maybe not Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
I like what was it, Forever? Was that with Riddler and
yeah,
that was good. I like that.
I love that one. That's probably my favorite one. That's the one, like I grew up. I had the DVD. I watched it to death, man. I love that movie so much. I sought out every copy of I got a VHS, DVD, a Blu-ray. I got that on every format there is. It's like one of my favorite movies. Just from growing up standpoint, I just loved that.
It was right in your wheelhouse that time. Right
yeah.
there.
Yeah, that was right around the time that I started getting into that stuff. So I was just like, oh man, this is my bread and butter, And then Batman became all serious with the Dark Knight stuff.
That was great. That's when that switched to that, oh man, there were some good
Yeah.
stories back in the 80s, late 80s and 90s with Batman. Well, there still are. He's still doing the dark stuff. So
Yeah, no. I'm excited for the new one. I think that's cool that they're gonna try Robert Pattinson and they're gonna try the Riddler again, the Penguin again. Like it'll be interesting to see like different interpretations. I like Danny DeVito and Jim Carrey, but it'll be interesting to see like what these new
oh, yeah.
actors.
And
Um,
I'm willing to give anyone a chance with that stuff because I lived through when they announced Michael Keaton. I'm like, Mr. Mom's gonna be Batman. Like, Jack Nicholson, was the old guy, he could be Joker, and they blew it out of the park. And same thing with Batman with Heath Ledger. I'm like, Heath Ledger, like pretty boy, like no
yeah,
way, he's not gonna he's gonna suck. He was awesome. So when they said Robert Pattinson, I'm like, ugh. I know a lot of people are like, oh, the Twilight guy, but I saw that little clip they released a couple months ago. It looks pretty badass. So
I agree. I
I'm
think it
ready
looks
for it.
badass. I'm totally gonna see it. Yeah, because I agree with you. I had the same like I always liked Michael Keaton. Like I wasn't around when that, but I could not even imagine like fucking Beetlejuice, really? Like Mr.
Yeah.
Mom, him?
Yeah, like okay, gung ho. Where we go with this? But I give them all a chance now. I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. And if they suck, they suck. But I'll wait till I see it. So
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm the same way. Until I see it, I won't judge. I'm the same
yeah,
way.
hmm
I think
for
it's
sure.
best to be fair, but yeah, no, I love those movies too. So I'm glad. I didn't know. I wasn't sure if you were a comic guy or not, but
I'm a nerd about everything, man.
me too, man.
Horror, the comics, the Kiss, wrestling. It's like, look out, ladies. Sorry, I'm taken.
That's his bread and his butter, baby. He warned you
Sorry,
not to go
lady.
out there.
She's right in there. So
That's fucking great, man.
my little man cave in here, or my
The
dirty little
Cave of
secret.
Zetro. You gotta
Yeah,
love it.
and there's everything. So everything's in here too. Kiss, comics, Star Wars. You want to go Star Wars too?
Oh,
I'm Star Wars geek too. So
did you hate the new ones as much as I did?
um, the first one, I don't even know that. I forget the names of what was
The
of
Force
the last
Awakens,
three. What was the first one?
The Force Awakens, and then the Last Jedi, or as I call it, the last movie I'll ever watch of the Star Wars movies, and then the Rise of Shitwalker.
See, I like the two bookend ones. The middle one, I was like, but I've only seen them like once, you know. And
Yeah.
those prequel things you can stick in your ass for the most part, you know.
See,
So,
those I like a lot better than the new
well, that
ones.
was probably you were probably right at that right age though.
Yes, no, I was. I grew up. It's funny because I remember I rented The Empire Strikes Back from Hollywood Video, and I never. I mean, I went in cold. Like I had no idea.
Yeah.
But it was around the time that Phantom Menace had come out, and people were going crazy. And I remember this, and people. It'll date me a little bit. Um, this is back when Hollywood Video they had a wall of the original trilogy.
Yeah.
You know, it was like New Hope, Empire, Return of the Jedi, and people, every single copy of A New Hope had been taken, the original Star Wars,
Yeah.
and I was just like, holy shit! So I was like, all right, I'll start with this one, in the middle, and man, I'll tell you, like 2 hours or whatever it was later, my life changed. I was like, this is fucking amazing. Like I
That's the
remember
best one.
telling my dad the next morning over breakfast, being like, and there's this little green motherfucker named Yoda who just lifted the X-wing out of the water, and then they had this saber fight, and he cut the motherfucker's arm off, and he said he was his dad, and then
Yeah,
and my dad's like, all
yeah.
right, we'll go back tonight and we'll rent. Like he just like anything to get me to stop. Be like, all right, I get it. You liked it. We'll get some toys. We'll go back. And that's really how I fell in love with it. So I did grow up mostly with the original three, but like you said, that was when the prequels were just coming out.
Yeah.
And I saw those and I liked those fine too. I will agree that like Attack of the Clones definitely isn't the best. I don't watch that one, but I didn't mind the first one they did, the one everybody hates, the Phantom Menace.
At first, because of the hype, for sure, I was a little more into it because I was just so hyped up about it. But I guess they're not bad. But Jar Jar,
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, no. And as a kid, I didn't, realize how the whole Jar Jar thing, and like I didn't care about the kid actor that played Darth Vader. Like I
Yeah.
don't know. The one thing about that movie that I always mention that nobody really says, that's like the last Star Wars movies with actual like filming on location. Like everything else, like it just became a green screen, and like you could tell it was a set. You
Yeah.
know, that
Right.
was the last one where I'm like, yo, you could see they went out and shot this on location. I don't know. Part of me that just it adds so much more to me. But these
Oh
new
yeah,
ones,
for sure. Yeah.
I
Because you see
couldn't.
the behind the scenes, yeah, just a screen, a couple of fake rocks, and like a platform is what they're filming on. And they throw all that shit in there. It's like, well, yeah, that definitely. I'll get into that too with what we're talking about today. But just so you know, Empire Strikes Back, I saw it at the theater,
No way! That's so sick. I got
like
here.
five.
I got. I don't know how much of this you'll be able to see. Can you see that?
Oh yeah,
No,
there you
Empire.
go. Yep,
Yeah, I got Last House there too. I don't know how much y'all can
nice.
see, but
And
yeah, no, that's like my favorite Star Wars movie ever. I got that. Oh, well, also since we're talking about it tonight, I got the whole.
yeah, I got a few
He's a
things to show you
maniac.
too. Nail your cat to the floor. Remember that?
Oh my God! Yes, we gotta talk about that. I
When the
marked out for that. I was like, wow,
I
so
saw you
wild.
posted. I'm like, that was great.
Dude, yeah, no, I neglected to watch that feature on this for years, and I was like, what the fuck is this, Michael Cimbello? And I
Yeah.
turned it on, and I was like, yo, what? And I had a ball. Like I watched it twice. I was like, wow, what in the hell? Like,
And did
just
they ever give a straight answer if it was inspired by either one, or was it just did they ever really get to it?
it seemed like all speculation. That's what I got. However,
Yeah.
the guy that was being interviewed, he swore that Joe Spinell called him after Flash. Was it Flashdance? Was that the name of the album?
That's the name
Um,
of the movie. Yeah, Flashdance.
yeah, yeah. Okay, yes, that's right. So Flashdance came out, and Joe Spinell called whoever did I think Jay Chataway or whatever his name is. The guy did the music, and he was like, "You idiot!" And he was like, "Well, what's the problem?" He goes, "Dude, have you seen Flashdance?" And the guy was like, "No," and he was like, "They used the song that was going to be used in our movie, you idiot!" And like Joe Spinell was pissed about it, and then they called up Michael Cimbello to like confirm, and he said, "Yes, we started. It was going to be for a slasher film." And that's
Hmm.
with I'll kill your cat and nail it to the door. I was just like, wow, like I never ever knew that. I
Yeah,
just was
me neither.
thought it
Did
was really
you
cool.
find out?
Yeah, no, I actually found some quite a few interesting things in, but I guess that's no better way to transition. We could transition into the topics at hand tonight. Of
Yes.
course, from 1980. Oh, he's rocking the shirt. I have a Maniac shirt. For the life of me, could not find it for the show, so I went wooden head tonight. But if it does resurface, I promise. I apologize to all the graveyard fans. I swear I've worn it on a past show. I could not. I digged and searched. I couldn't find it.
I haven't
But
worn it for 2 weeks. I was saving it just for tonight.
oh, see, I love your dedication. See, Zetro, there's nobody quite like him. He's a wonderful man and a wonderful guest. But tonight, we're talking about a man that maybe wasn't so wonderful. We're talking about a man who warned you not to go out tonight. We are talking about William Lustig. I would say Bill Lustig, but I don't. I know he goes by both. So I just wanted to William Lustig. 1980s Maniac. Oh yeah, one of the most iconic cover art, poster arts ever, in my opinion. Just really, and it's been ripped off to death. I know Hostel Part 2 ripped this off. Like so many movies have ripped off this poster. Doesn't get any cooler than this one right here with, Maniac. But tell me, man, because there's tons of stuff I want to get to with this. Do you remember your first viewing of this, and what were your initial thoughts?
Well, first of all, I guarantee at some point I'll probably say Frank Rizzo today because Jerky Boys and all that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
But this movie, this was a later one, probably around junior high, so probably around like I don't know 86, 87, somewhere around there. Rented it. I don't remember. I would when I was a kid, I would just rent horror and ninja movies and Vietnam movies. That was my thing. So I would just I don't know. I just probably saw the cover. The cover was awesome, and my earliest memory is just renting it and watching it at my old house. Probably with mom and dad, and then being like, "What the hell are we watching?"
Jesus.
But yeah, I think that's my earliest memory because that was one I definitely didn't grow up with, but I was still pretty young watching it because I'm sure it wasn't out in a video that long when I rented it. So definitely a VHS classic, and I rented it several times before or after. I mean, so yeah, one of them building blocks of my dementedness, I guess.
Yeah, I'll never forget. I had heard about this one for years on YouTube, people talking about this film. And like I said before, the first thing that drew me to it was the cover. I was like, holy shit,
Yeah.
that decapitated head, the bulge, like I was like, holy shit, man, I got to see that movie. I remember watching it. I believe this was one I rented, and this was one of the things they're like, my parents were at the store with me, and they didn't pay any attention to the shit I watched. They still don't. But they were like, yeah, sure, you can rent Maniac. They had no clue. I remember putting it on really late, like, 1 or 2 in the morning, and just being like shocked.
Yeah.
And in the best of ways possible, because even though this movie really does go far, I was just astounded at how good the special effects look, and to this day, how good the special effects look. Of course, and this was a thing and a theme at this time with me. Every good gore film I watched was done by Tom Savini.
Yeah,
This
right.
Dawn of the Dead, then this, then Friday the 13th, then The Prowler, then The Burning. That guy was just on a roll. Creepshow, Day of the Dead. He really could not do any wrong when it came to, I believe his first effects job was on Romero's Martin. And it culminated all with movies like this and movies like Day of the Dead and stuff. And and he's even in it, and he has probably my favorite death scene in the movie, which as a kid, again, it blew my mind. And I got to say, and as big of a fan of Dawn of the Dead I am, the head explosion in this is even better, man, than
Oh
the
my
head
God.
explosion on that. Like, holy Christ, man. Watching that, like every single time I watch it, I'm like, oh shit. It's one of those just jaw droppers. Just
Oh, I don't know all that stuff about like shrimps and shrimp sauce, and I think it's all bullshit. I think they really killed somebody.
Yeah, he killed himself. Tom Savini killed himself because that's the person whose head he models.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm cool enough to find out on this that he was the one that shot the shotgun, so
Yeah.
he blew off his own head. I thought that was fucking funny.
And then they had to run because there was no permit
Yep.
to the gun, so they just jumped in the car and got the hell out of there. It's filmmaking like that back in the day. It's just how many movies we've seen that did that. With no permit, no shit. What's his face? Cohen.
Larry Cohen.
Yeah, Reze.
Larry Cohen.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Q and all that's
The stuff God told me to. Yeah, he's a great filmmaker.
Yeah, just no permit. I don't have money for a permit. So
No, they had, I think the beauty, they had creativity and they had balls, like fuck it.
Yeah.
We're going to be as creative. This is going to look good. We're going to slow this down. We're going to throw blood on the gal in the passenger seat, and it all drives home. I think that's the thing that just jumps out to me in this is how realistic the kills are, how, violent they're portrayed by the director, William Lustig, who I think does a really good job. This is probably my favorite film from him. And just the overall, because I had seen Taxi Driver by this point, but this was like Taxi Driver if it was straight up horror. Whereas Taxi Driver, it's exploitation. It has elements, of course, the ending, but this was like 90 minutes of if Taxi Driver was exploitation horror. And I just think it was really, really well done. We do have a guest in the Heezy. Aiden Vavra's in the house. What's going on, good brother? Happy to have you. Yeah, we love the original poster, and you do. Yeah, Tom Savini in this. It's incredible. But what was AJ? What was your opinion of Joe Spinell's performance? And knowing all the stuff he did before this, I was just absolutely blown away by it. But what did you think of his performance?
Oh, he played the super creep to a T. It was great. It's probably scary how good he was because God knows what he may have done in his life if he didn't succeed at the acting thing, you know, because they said a lot of that stuff was ad-libbed, a lot of his ramblings and all that shit. And I guess he wanted to do some pretty horrific shit as far as like kill scenes and stuff. And they're like, we can't put that shit on film. Like, what the hell's the matter with you? So it's kind of, you know, they say you got to dig down deep sometimes, but maybe he didn't have to dig too deep to find that character to play him like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that's why it comes off so realistic. Like, you know, and I love American Psycho, Christian Bale. I love that performance. But that, like, he hammed it up in a lot of, and I think it's a great performance. I think, honestly, he may have and probably should have won an Oscar. But I think when you're coming to, like, a real gritty SOB that you'd see on the streets in New York City late night, I mean, you look no further than fucking Joe Spinell in this movie. One of the first scenes, he's walking, this hooker's trying to meet her quota for the week because, of course, you know, and I'll take you around the world for $100. And just like, because I first saw this, I knew what was going to, I was like, all right, he's going to kill her, like, obviously, but how it's built to, you know, like, she's like, oh, you're not bad at this, you know, and then, like, he starts strangling her, and I remember being like, oh my God, man, that's like, it's just so raw, you know? That's
definitely a dude you would go on the other side of the street if he was walking on your side of the street to get away from. You know what I mean? And with that, you know, I pick up every time you watch something, you pick up different things, or, you know, and I never noticed in that scene you're talking about in the beginning, she puts her arm like around his, like, you know, like, let's walk in together. And he does like a disgusted like thing. I never noticed that before. Like, he did that. Like, then that kind of tells you something right there. Like, he's not looking for love, you know.
No,
but yeah, I never noticed that. I never noticed that he did that. She puts, like, they're walking down an aisle, and he just kind of pulls away and, like, you know, gives her like a look. And I never noticed the Chewbacca glass either.
I never noticed that either. No.
Son of a bitch, right in the very beginning, I'm like, that's a Chewbacca glass.
Chewie!
And to show you that those Ebon Press guys don't mess around, I was reading the comic, and sure as shit, right in the foreground, Chewbacca glass. I'm like, those guys, they you know, they're money. They're awesome. They know what's going on. And there's another scene where you see another Star Wars glass. I don't know if it's the same one. I didn't even know they had the Star Wars glasses, and that it must have been for Star Wars, because it was probably filmed in '79. Empire didn't come out till '80, so I know they had Empire glasses, but I don't know if they must have had Star Wars ones. So I'm like, holy shit, he's got a Chewbacca. Like, maybe this guy's not so bad.
Yeah, no, maybe he has a sensual side where he likes to see science fiction films on the big screen. Like, I don't know. But, you know, going back to... But going back to what you were saying about the psychology of, you know, pulling away, and that like you said, he wasn't looking for love, and that's, to me, what the scariest thing about this movie is. Like, he really, you know, with all the horrible stuff with his mother, and we don't find out much of that in this film. It's very much more implied as opposed to said. Whereas the remake, they go into, like, specifically, you know, more of the shit with his mom. And for better or for worse. I actually, when we get to the remake, I don't mind the remake. I think it's a good remake.
That's great.
But in this, I think, you know, some of the, you know, ad-libbed, and, you know, these pretty girls, they walk down these streets with their skirts, and I'm just, oh man, it's terrifying. And he's doing the whole, like, nailing the scalps to the heads of the mannequins, and just, holy shit, like, you do not expect to see that in a film like this. And
right.
You know, my introduction to Joe Spinell was the Rocky movies. He was Rocky's like manager or whatever, promoter. And I was like, that's the guy from Rocky, you know. I didn't know it was him. And then I watched the film, and I was just like, wow, like, that guy has fucking range. Because in that, he's all nice. Hey, Rocco, love you, buddy. Here, I'll give you, here's $200. You know, did you break his thumbs? And this motherfucker's breaking thumbs of his own, man. He's killing women left and right, scalping them. And, like, every time you watch that, the scalping, oh my God,
That
man,
really
how
freaked me
real
out,
does
man.
that shit look?
Yeah, even though I was older, that shit freaked me out. Well, mannequins in general freaked me out especially when I was younger. I don't know why. Now I'm a little better, but when I was a kid, there was like an after school special with something about a mannequin. And it scared the living shit. I mean, it wasn't even like a horror thing. It was like, I think, trying to teach you about stealing or something, you know. And just to see and good thing I didn't see Tourist Trap when I was
Yeah.
a kid. I'd probably be, under a bed somewhere right now. But
What about the movie Mannequin? Did you ever see that?
yeah, that one, I like that one.
That was okay.
Yeah, she was all right.
Mannequins are good as long as they're G-rated.
Yeah, it was funny. That kind of softened the blow a little bit when they're like creepy mannequins like that. Oh shit, man. No. But going back to Spinell, my first introduction to him was this. So now whenever I would see him, I'm like, hey, look, there's Maniac in Rocky. Hey, look, there's Maniac in Taxi. There's Maniac in Nighthawks or whatever the hell. And I never realized how much shit he was until you start looking at his IMDb profile. Like, well, this guy was in a lot of shit. I remember a lot of shit, but I can only imagine what else he would have done. He was the character actor supreme, and from what they say, a really cool guy who tried to help. Because a lot of his friends were in Maniac and stuff. Like he tried to help. He was trying to help out Sylvester Stallone get Rocky done. So he seemed like a really a nice guy.
Yeah, totally. And he came from an era where he really was, and this it's a sad thing, and I'm sure it still definitely goes on today, where the character actors are exactly that. You're a character actor, pal. Like you're never going to be the lead guy, but in comes the one and only genre where Joe Spinell could be the star, and
Yeah,
that's the horror genre. And he did this. He did the last horror film. I believe Carolyn Monroe is also in that. Who she's in
I
this
think
too.
so. Yeah.
And he also did. It was called The Undertaker. It was actually produced by these guys, Double Helix Films.
Mm-hmm.
They released that after he had passed. I've never seen that, but I would like to. Just the fact that it's called The Undertaker, Joe Spinell. It was produced by this company. Like I got to see that movie one day.
Maybe he'll do the Tombstone Pile Driver on somebody.
Maybe he'll do Tombstone and then scalp the person. I don't know. But
like, I didn't think much of the last horror movie?
Yeah, I don't really like it either.
Yeah.
The last horror movie, yeah, I think that's what it was called.
Yeah, it was all right, but after Maniac, it's hard to like top it. Really, actually, the Maniac 2 looked like it was going to be promising. Those little snippets they had at the end on the DVD there.
I was shocked by that too. The whole Maniac 2. For people that don't know what we're talking about, that was originally they made that to raise the money to make an actual Maniac 2. And it was the like subtitle was called Mr. Robbie, and it was basically they were remaking this film from the early 70s called Psychopath, where it was about this kids television show host who like went after and killed abusive parents. And it was like a 7-minute short film, really good in my opinion. And it almost in some ways mirrored that Joker film with Joaquin Phoenix that just came out. Like I got vibes of that, him putting on the face paint in the mirror, talking to himself.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck. I was like, Spinell did it first, damn it. Where's his Oscar? But I really would have liked to have seen that feature-length movie. Just, I don't know, just out of curiosity, maybe. And I know sometimes curiosity killed the cat, but in that case, man, that looked really interesting to me. And he could have pulled it off for sure.
For sure, yeah. But we'll never know.
We won't.
Well, who knows now with the computers and stuff, maybe they can make one up with a whatever they do. You know how they do it. Make them younger, make them older.
CGI them in?
Yeah, CGI. Make them dead people come to life and shit,
Why not? That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a thought.
The first movie with an all posthumous cast. That would be the day.
Yeah. I mean, shit, the cut scenes in like PlayStation 5 games looks like a damn movie anyway. Just go for it, man.
It's true. Yeah, they need a lot of money though. I don't know if Bill Lustig has enough money from what was the last movie he did? Uncle Sam. I don't know. That wasn't a big blockbuster from what I remember.
Well, yeah, definitely GoFundMe or something.
You need quite the GoFundMe to get the effects that the Disney Plus and the Irishman and all these CGI, movies that make people younger. But let's run through some of the scenes in this movie, because this is like one of those movies that just is filled with scenes I love. I saw when you watched it, you posted on your story the subway scene when he's chasing that woman. Dude, that's like one of my favorite scenes. It might be my favorite scene in the whole film. Like that's amazing.
I mean, that's scary shit though, because it could really happen too. That's what probably makes this movie so creepy. That shit probably has happened. Well, like they said, did you listen to the commentaries or any of those stuff? Or
I watched all the featurettes. I didn't listen to the commentary. No.
Did you? They were saying that when they filmed that first scene with the first kill, that there were actually at that hotel, there were actually police officers investigating an actual murder that happened somewhere in the area, and the two prostitutes, and they had their heads cut off, and I guess they had their clothes that they were wearing at the time they got killed, and they put them in like on a mannequin in a window, like, anyone seen this or know who this is? And so they're investigating a real life murder of two prostitutes while they're filming a movie about a dude that's gonna kill a prostitute.
And puts their hair on mannequins.
Yeah, right.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Wow.
That shit is creepy, but yeah, the subway scene, yeah, that scared the shit out of me. That scared me too, because you honestly thought for a minute maybe he did just go away, but no.
No. And I like how that's all like built too. Like it's two nurses, they're leaving wherever for the night, and the one girl, "Are you sure you don't want to ride?" "I'm sure." Big fucking mistake, Blondie. That's all I gotta say. But and this, I'll sound a little bit hypocritical, so I apologize to any female watching this. But when I worked in the city, like sometimes coming home late night, whether it be the subway and then getting on the train, you see some sketchy motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure,
especially in the Big Apple. And I mean, and rewind 41 years to 1980. I would only imagine it to be even more scary because, there's not cameras, there's not, definitely more scary. And on top of that, being a woman, being an attractive woman in that situation, fuck, man, it doesn't get any fucking scarier than that. And like, I just love how that entire scene is just completely, just perfectly paced. She gets down the terminal. She keeps looking back at the steps. The music slowly builds. She's trying to get, her quarters out. Today we got Metro card. She wouldn't have to do that now. You have to just swipe her card.
Right.
But, I just even that, just her fucking, scuffling for the quarters just made me go, oh shit, like what the fuck, And like you said, just when you think, oh, she's safe now, he didn't see her, she got away. The classic wash my face, look up in the mirror, and then oh shit, the maniac right there to slit the throat. Actually, no, it's impale from the back. It's not a slit the throat. It's right to the back, just like oof. Oh yeah, go ahead. Oh no, AJ's got something good. But checking in the chat here, Aiden says William Lustig is a great director. My favorite film of his is Maniac Cop 2. And we have another guest, the Flow Chamber. Salute to the chat and panel. What's going on, good brother? Happy to have you here, Mr. Flow Chamber. He says you sound like Russell Peters.
God damn it, that's what my eye doctor says too. He does. And he called me out before too. He goes, anyone ever tell you sound like Russell Peters? I'm like, no. It's like, you sound like Russell, say something Russell Peters. I'm like, I'm not a huge Russell Peters fan. He's like, listen to him. And I went home and I listened to him. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch, I think I do sound like him. Got the nose too.
It never dawned upon me, but now, like that I'm thinking about it.
My eye doctor, he's gonna shit himself because I'm due to see him probably in the next month or so. And he's a younger dude. He's younger than me, I think. So we always joke around and fuck around and stuff. Yeah. So
Russell Peters, everybody. We got to change the name on the bottom. RP.
Anyway, that by the way, that scene too, that subway scene was It was only they were only permitted to film above wherever, however it's set up now. So when she goes down into all that shit was illegal. There was no permit for that. So and what they did is like they took out the head of whatever the transit authority or whatever. They took him out to dinner and distracted him while they filmed all the shit they weren't supposed to be filming downstairs.
Took him out to dinner. Isn't that a bribe? Right? Dude, I love it.
So anyway, I wanted to bring this out too. My dad would every once in a while would come home with some weird shit just for no reason, right?
Uh-huh.
He comes home one day with this.
What the fuck?
It's a bayonet, kind of like in Maniac.
Yeah, what he gets her from behind with.
Now, it's not like I was a World War I, or I think it's a World War I. My friend, I have to ask him. He's a history teacher. I think it's a World War I. Not like I was a World War I or World War II history buffer, but my dad's like, "Hey, you want this? This is kind of cool." I'm like, "Okay." So I've had this probably 30 years. This thing is like, it's almost probably 2.5 feet long. If you can get a good.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like.
Then I see Maniac. I'm like, this is almost because it's got like a little clip here to clip onto your rifle. You know, it's like a little. You clip it onto your rifle, and then my dad. Yeah, here, you want it? I'm like, yeah, okay. So it's been kind of a conversation piece when anyone new comes over. Like, what the hell's that? I'm like, it's a bayonet.
My dad got it to me. You know,
it's kind of like almost exactly what he uses in that scene too. I'm like, well, if I ever want to be a maniac, I guess I got the right thing for it.
You got the utensils, bro. You got them. And like some normal kids, hey, Daddy, I want a choo-choo train. Mr. Zetro, here's a 2.5 foot long World War II weapon.
Got your goddamn bayonet. So I don't know who or why or how or I don't. Probably one of them things you're best not ask a lot of questions. Just shut up and take it.
I guess so. You're right, man. It's just one of those things you got to just drink the Kool-Aid with.
Yeah,
that's amazing. That's really cool, though. Like
friends come over with the kids or something. I'm like, yeah, you might want to keep that away from. So, my dad.
Papa Z, gotta love him. Dude, but that scene though, like. To me, that's just one of the best like tension-filled scenes ever. And then they do this thing with him and Carolyn Monroe where he's hitting on her. He like finally comes across someone he doesn't want to like scalp and kill. Even their scenes, like while it's not that believable, because of like what he looks like compared to what she looks like.
I take offense with that. Big Gorpy guy can get a pretty girl.
I don't know, man. But I gotta say, he had game. He had game because
charming dude, right?
Fearless.
Yeah.
She was like, "You asking me on a date?" He's like, "Yeah." Like, annoyed. Like, "Of course I am, bitch. Like, don't play dumb with me." And she's like, "All right, screw it. Let's go to Clam's Casino." I love that. It's just like a hole in the wall bullshit place in the city. I've been to tons of those. So when you see that, like, I'm like, oh man, I've been to places like that. Like, I love. Yeah, go ahead.
You know who they originally wanted or almost had? The story kind of differs to who tells it, though. Before
no, I thought it was always Carolyn Monroe. Who was the original?
See, she says the way she says it, it's like they had someone else all ready to go, and at the last minute, she couldn't make the plane ride or couldn't make the trip over to the United States. Lustig in a newer commentary doesn't say anything about it, but in the older one from like the old laser, they mentioned it that almost kind of like they wanted her, but it just didn't pan out. But so Carolyn Monroe says it like they had it already set up, ready to go, but the other guys say like they wanted to, but it just Daria Nicoletta, how do you say her last name?
Daria Nicolodi? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you imagine that? That would have been great.
Wild.
Yeah.
Argento's wife comes over to be in Maniac with Savini after, dude, and that's the greatest thing ever because I think Argento loved Savini because of the cut for Dawn of the Dead. Mm-hmm. That's like the number one thing that's in the Argento cut is Savini's effects. Like that's what Argento got the most out of with Dawn of the Dead. That's so crazy that Daria Nicolodi was going to be in
Yeah.
it. She
This
was probably,
close.
yeah, dude, that's wild. I will say I'm glad they got Carolyn Monroe just because like she's really beautiful woman.
She's
And
great.
not that Daria wasn't, may she rest in peace. But
Right.
I think that for this movie, I don't know, something about Carolyn Monroe I really like. And like also Daria was probably a little bit better of an actress, but at the end of the day, I don't watch Maniac for Carolyn Monroe. I watch
Right.
it for Joe Spinell and Tom Savini's effects, and I think
Yeah.
William Lustig's direction. Like those are the reasons I watch it.
Mhm.
Carolyn Monroe is almost eye candy. Like she doesn't really, her character is not much, right? Like she's a photographer, she's pretty. They go out, and then she doesn't even really have a full circle, like they go to his mother's grave, he freaks out, she kind of hits him and runs away, and that's it,
She's
like she
kind of
has.
there to lead him to the finale. So,
Yes, yeah, it's almost like, yeah, she's not as vital, but I think she does a good job, and she's a really
yeah.
beautiful woman. And I don't know, I just always found it funny that like she like go out on a date with him. I was just like, oh man, my man Joe Spinell's got game, man. Alan Monroe to this shitty seafood place. What a hero! Like,
Yeah, right.
oh, so amazing. I love it. But
Long
talking
John
about
Silver was full, so
the
we went for it.
finale,
What's
dude,
that?
isn't that finale incredible?
Oh my god! And that's what, because I think Savini's first thing he did was Deranged, wasn't it?
Um, I
Because the
you might,
mom zombie, or whatever you want to call it, the undead mom, looks a lot like the undead mom in Deranged. That's
yeah.
why you've seen that, right? The
I've actually not seen Deranged. That's from the early '70s, right?
74.
Okay, no, I haven't. I know
It's
it's
like
on every like DVD, like two. I think that and Motel Hell were on a 2-pack.
that's what I got. Yeah, I haven't
Oh, okay.
upgraded it, which is it's dude, it's good. It's like kind of like basically an Ed Gein biopic. It's
Oh,
just the guy
cool.
Ezra Cobb. Watch it. It's gritty and creepy, and it's got like that '70s grimy like Last House on the Left or Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You would dig it. It's fucking creepy though too. So watch it late at night, by yourself with the lights.
That sounds
See,
like a plan to me. That's right up my alley.
I think he did all of the effects, and that's like one of the first things, because there's not a lot of effects. There's not a lot of gore and killing, but there is some stuff, and that's what reminds me of that. The mom, if you see the mom, the mom, like kind of like Norman Bates' mom
Yeah.
in Ranged, it looks a lot like the one that comes out of the grave there that he imagines.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, watch it. Go now and watch it. Come back.
Graveyard on hold.
Yeah, but you mean that that finale part, like the finale? Which part? Which
The
finale you mean?
finale,
Like
finale, because that's
yeah?
like,
Well,
wow.
when I saw that shit, well, that's
Uh-huh.
that's kind of like what this is going on here a little bit.
Yeah.
Got the hands on the hair. Oh, yeah, dude, that was crazy.
I remember the first time I watched that, and like, because I wasn't expecting it to go there. I was like, all right, so how do they end this now? Because after that graveyard scene ends, I'm like, okay, now he's back in the apartment. Like, are the police going to come in and just arrest him? Like, I'm thinking to myself, that would be a really lame way to end a really good movie. And the fact that they go supernatural with it and have all these women that he had killed literally come to life in these mannequins and stab
Yeah.
him to death and then literally rip his fucking head off. And you see it all. It's really, they do hardly cut any of that away. I mean,
Yeah.
you see the entire, the point where they dig their nails into his throat. And they would later, speaking of what Savini did before and after this, in Day of the Dead, when they rip off that sergeant's head and the vocal cords get higher, like he starts
Oh yeah,
screaming higher and higher. Like that's
great.
just, oh my god. But exactly from this, and the gore looks fantastic. The mannequins, the designs, like of all of them, they all have the slash above their head, of course, and getting their vengeance. And then pretty much the cops show up and you see his eyes open and then fade to black.
Well, throws you off when you're a kid. You're like, what the hell just happened? Like, you know,
Yeah, because
he's in one piece
that
though.
is all raw. It's all real. It's all
Yeah.
gritty. And not that the stuff's not raw and gritty either, but it was all realistic. Like you're all like, okay, I could totally see this happening. I could totally see that happening. But the ending, you're just like, whoa, like did not see that coming. And that, but I thought there's no better finale than that. That's exactly what he deserved at the end of the day, for
Yeah.
killing all these, innocent, beautiful women and scalping them. Of course, the mannequins come to life and stab him to death and rip his head off. I don't think you get any more of a fitting finale to this movie than that. Personally, I thought it was.
I think I read they had a whole subplot plan with the cops chasing him, like the detectives trying to, and they just couldn't shoot it. They didn't have the money for it, and I forgot someone famous was supposed to play one of the cops. So instead, they just had two cops show up at the end,
which is good. I like. Do you think
Yeah.
the other would have worked?
No. It'd been like a 2-hour movie, and it's like you know me and anything over an hour and a half, you start losing me unless it's really really something special. Like horror movies and comedy should be an hour and a half or less to me.
Yeah, no, I totally see that completely, and I think that this one in particular, like it's an hour and let's see,
88 minutes, 89 minutes, I think.
Yeah, 88 minutes. So, and like that's with credits. So it's probably an hour 24, hour 25. It's
Perfect.
a really cool movie, but I don't know, man. I just think it works in every single level and aspect. And it's one that I always go back and rewatch this. Like I think you have the newer edition I have this is the older Blu-ray from 2012.
Well, let me show you a couple of things here.
Oh yeah, sure. Please do.
Since we're talking about it, we got time? We got time?
Dude, you got plenty of time, man.
Yeah, I got the newer one, which is nice. It's perfect.
That's the 4K restoration. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's like holographic cover.
Yeah, that.
Yes, I love it. Why doesn't do it? No.
I don't think I ever had it on VHS. I don't believe I did. I got rid of a lot of VHS, but this was nice. The tin.
Oh, that's sick.
Anchor Bay.
Anchor Bay.
Anchor Bay. Yeah, they had a series of different ones. I got this, and I got Evil Dead 2. I thought I had one more, but they had like 8 or 9.
I had the Hellraiser one.
Hellraiser, yeah. But it's kind of bare bones. It's got a couple of things in there, but you open up the tin, you want that's be some good. There's nothing in there. There's a card, but actually it came with the soundtrack. Did you ever see this? The soundtrack on this was awesome.
Oh no, what do show?
It's it's a cutout of his head.
What the fuck? Yes, are you serious?
Isn't that great? It doesn't.
Oh my god, no way! That's
the only thing though, it doesn't play on like everything I have, but it'll play on like a boombox and shit like that. But because the new one came with the soundtrack too. Let me see if I can get it open here.
That's amazing.
The new one came with this, but it's just like a regular CD. It's
not as fun. The other one's
fun. This was fucking great when I opened it. I'm like, are you kidding me? His little head spinning around.
You know what? That is unbelievable.
So I'm like, no, I'm not getting rid of this.
Never. We have somebody here, Hugo Guzman. I have the tin box with the out of print sticker still on it. So it is out of print, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that guy, cool guy right there.
Yeah, thank you for joining, Hugo. Welcome to the graveyard, my friend.
Man. And this thing, the Laserdisc.
Yo, that's an insane cover. I love that cover.
I know, I was kind of disappointed at first because I'm like, I want the classic cover, but I'm like, this is badass. And you weren't around for Laserdisc times, but they were expensive. A lot of them had laser rot, and I actually found in a box of shit I had the ad for this Laserdisc, probably taken out of one of my Laserdisc ads. And see the fucking price
$49.95. Holy crap!
Laserdiscs were not cheap. So that's why I never had a lot of them. But yeah, that's my little collection.
That's still really cool. I like that. The fucking disc with his face on it as his head. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
But yeah,
Good
time, man. But Anchor Bay, man, I loved Anchor Bay back in the day. They were the only ones putting out horror shit, and they put out a lot of the laser discs and these nice little tins. So that's good time, good stuff.
They were the best. Anchor Bay. I remember they put out these movies in the first aid kit set, and that was like my first exposure. So fucking cool. And the Red Cross actually threatened to sue, so they had to pull them from the shelves. And I think to this day, those like that DVD set, that initial Anchor Bay trilogy set, it goes for crazy money if you want the Red Cross edition. Oh, look at this! My man still's got it. Do you have the bonus fourth disc?
Yeah.
Of the shitty Sleepaway Camp 4?
4, yeah. This was a gift from my buddy that's no longer with me. So this is fucking awesome that he's like, I got this. I'm like, okay. And then sure as shit, it went out of legal action or whatever the fuck happened. And it's like, oh.
Yeah. I remember when that happened. That was a Best Buy exclusive. And like 2 weeks later, everybody was like, recall them. You know, you can't put the Red Cross on that. I was like, fuck that shit, man. That's Sleepaway Camp. I love it.
Yeah, that's a cool box set. I'm glad I got it. Glad he got it for me, I should say. So
yeah, no, that's a heck of a gift, man. Gotta love it. Ryan Snyder's in the house.
I know.
I'll do a shot for you, AJ. What's up, Grande? Just join in, dude. Glad to have you on the graveyard tonight. Tell us what shot you're taking. My man's drinking delicious lime soda here.
Green River,
buddy. And Ty Junebug Films. I'm late, not fashionably late, but late. Hey, man.
Yeah, we just started.
Yeah, no, honestly, me and AJ, we can talk for hours. I love talking to AJ.
And it's my late week, so I don't have to be in bed like in an hour.
Yeah, last time I didn't even know. I didn't know you had a early week, late week. I didn't know your schedule at all, so I felt bad. I was like, oh, shit. You were like, I've been up for 20 hours. I was like, fuck, I'm sorry.
All right. It's all good, man.
Yeah.
Sleep when you're dead, I guess.
This is true. This is very true.
But I still like my sleep, so.
Oh, me too. Hey, I'm sleeping beauty. I love my sleep. You know, and Ryan's doing vodka.
Ooh.
Films is doing Coors. Guys, I don't know if you're sticking around the whole way, but we're going to do hard trivia at the end, and Mr. Zetro just may need your help. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But we're just wrapping up the original Maniac here. Your collection's incredible on it, by the way. I think that's really, really cool. All that stuff.
A little slice of heaven.
Yeah. Those are amazing. I miss Anchor Bay too, man. You bring back memories. Like I still have the 2 disc of The Hills Have Eyes. I've never upgraded to the Arrow, even though I love Arrow. But I don't know. There's something about the novelty of Anchor Bay because they really were the only show in town at that time. I love them, man. High level of appreciation for Anchor Bay.
Well, that's what I always say. It's like it's hard to. I mean, you can only make a 30 or 40-year-old movie look so good. I mean, a lot of guys get on that. I got to upgrade. Well, yeah, some things, but it's like I like a little bit of the grittiness sometimes, you know?
Oh, I'm the same way. To me, it's like you got to keep the grain in it, man. Like you can't eliminate all the fucking grain. Like there are some movies totally I don't want to see any grain. Like, you know, like arty horror movies like Suspiria. That movie I can't, you know, I love seeing that in the best possible. But The Hills Have Eyes, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, granted, when I get a 4K of those movies, sure, but it's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, dude. Like, I want to watch that on the shittiest quality VHS they got, you know.
It depends too. If I'm a huge fan of a movie, then I'll probably just get it because you know it's my movie, you know.
Yes.
Or if they got a lot of bells and whistles and trinkets and shit, you know, you give me something with a soundtrack and some stickers or something. I mean, you know, like soundtrack. I can get a free soundtrack with it. All right.
$49.95, AJ. But no, yeah, I'm the same way. I'll double dip if it's one I love. You know, otherwise, not a big double dipper. But you know, Dawn of the Dead, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Shining. These are movies I will buy every. Those are some of my favorite movies. I would totally
Sure.
Suspiria, all those movies.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know,
not into upgrading everything. So
yeah, nah, it's a cash grab at the end of the day. It's like I appreciate it. I appreciate they put some of these obscure movies out, but like if I got it, I got it. Most, 9 times out of 10, unless you're right,
yeah.
unless it's something I love. Let's see. Mr. Guzman says, silly question, is Anchor Bay still around? Unfortunately, they're not still around. They went out of business, I want to say 2013, 2014, maybe even 2012, I think. Do you know, AJ, the
Yeah,
specific
I
year?
don't know for sure. I lost track of them.
I feel that. No, I'm pretty sure they've been out of business for like 7 or 8 years, which is a bummer. But that was right around the time where Shout Factory just took over,
Yeah.
and they're really the juggernaut today. I'll be honest, they're like not as high up there for me. Like I like Arrow better. I like Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I go in for way more. But there's no denying that they in the States they're probably the biggest horror Blu-ray special edition company out there right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, big time. Blue Underground got, speaking of Lustig, right? Isn't that his company?
Yes, and
Yeah.
they put out new edition of this Zombie, which is crazy. Those are like two of your favorite movies.
Yeah.
House by the Cemetery. Did they do the Beyond, or was it New York Ripper?
I got the version. I got the Beyond from Grindhouse, I think. Cinema, is that what
That's
it is?
right. Yes. So Grindhouse did that, and then they
It's a
did the
nice
New York
box.
Ripper and House by the Cemetery on 4K, I think,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
is
that sounds right.
really cool, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
Just at a friend house, he's dropping a douche. Oh God. Okay. That's my complaint with a lot of the Friday 13th fan films. It looks too polished. They don't need the expensive camera. Fan film, $200 camera from. Yeah. I like some grit in my. Too much polish is just it hurts it. So I put it on my shit list because of some of their business practices they perform. So you guys are on the shit list. Yeah, I like the Nightbreed thing. I don't know, man. So they rubbed me the wrong way. The disgrace of a special edition they released of April Fool's Day. That I literally haven't bought anything from them since that happened.
Who?
So Shout Factory did a release of this.
Oh, they did?
And I don't know if you saw the cover, but it is the shittiest cover I've ever seen in my life. It's like it's this, but they made them all like Barbie dolls. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I've never seen that. Yeah.
I was like, what? And they didn't get Amy Steele, who signed that and couldn't have been nicer and told me all about great stories. They didn't get Deborah Foreman. They did like nothing. They just did a new scan of it and really, oh, this is a $30 special edition. We put it in HD. Fuck you, Scream Factory. That's bullshit. Get Amy Steele, get Deborah Foreman, get all the people would talk about that movie, but I don't know. I just was
That's a
frustrated.
classic cover too. That's a classic cover. I mean,
How could you fuck that up? And they did.
yeah.
Let's make it a Barbie cover. Like, oh,
I mean, I'll be honest, it did piss me off, and when I first saw it, I never really forgave it for pissing me off because it wasn't real. But like it's still fun, but I still kind of hold it against them that they shafted me on it being a real killer.
yeah, no, yeah, like when it started, I was all aboard. I was like, oh, I love them. I'm glad they put stuff like American Gothic out. Aiden mentions here they put like Life Force out, the Fun House. They put The Dark Half, Monkey Shines, all these good movies. But like lately, I just feel like they've been too cash grabby, personally for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
No.
charging an absurd amount of money for movies that aren't even like a special. That like you didn't even put any new features. How is this special? Like what's special
Yeah.
about your edition? Your shitty cover? Like
Because we said it is.
yeah, no, I have no idea. But come full circle though, Maniac. If you had to rank it out of 10, what would you rank it?
Out of 10?
Yes, sir.
I'd probably give it a 9.
I'll go with you. I'll go 9 out of 10. One of the most classic 1980 the year of 1980 horror films, and that's saying a lot. You have Friday 13th, The Shining. You had so many good Altered States, so many good horror movies came out in 1980, and I would put Maniac on the top 10 list of that year, and that's saying a lot. but it's just one of those like time capsule movies. And I always go back and rewatch this. It really has a good rewatchability to it to me. And I think this is just a classic film. I'm glad that we talked about this one. Maniac. Yes, I warned you not to go out tonight. One of my faves. Love it.
Well, you're kind of chopping up on me a little bit here.
Oh, I did. I'm sorry. Yeah, you were frozen for a minute too. I wasn't sure. How is everybody in the chat? Are we good now? I don't know. I think I'm
okay.
good.
You're not frozen anymore.
I'm not frozen. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but now you're frozen again. Oh, no, you're not.
Oh no, that's not good. I think we're good. My Wi-Fi says we're fine. I don't know.
Yeah, probably a cloud went past the satellite or something.
A cumulonimbus. But I guess that can segue us into in 2012. They decided, hey, we've remade everything else. Why the fuck not remake Maniac? And I remember when I heard the news, I was very, kind of hesitant. I was like, I don't know. I'm not good with this. I'm not feeling this. They announced Elijah Wood. I immediately was like, I don't think this will work. And when I saw it, I was very pleasantly fucking surprised and very, very shocked. Like, I could not believe how much I liked this remake. And it is from 2012. I don't own it, unfortunately. It's not any knock against the film. It's one I've never picked up. But it's from 2012. It is Frank Khalfon, director of P2, another one of my faves. It is Maniac, the remake from 2012, starring Elijah Wood and America Olivo as Frank Zito's mother. I got to ask, what were your first feelings, thoughts, what have you, your first watch of this one? What did you think? And what was your preconceived thoughts?
I didn't really hear about it until later on. It just kind of went past my head. And I think I saw it finally maybe a year or two ago. I'll give it a shot, why not? I'm not dead set against all remakes, but they do tend to piss me off when I hear about them or see about them. But I try to give them all a chance for the most part. And it's probably been about 50-50 as far as good versus shit. Like, why did you even do this? But yeah, I didn't read anything about it. I didn't really know anything about it. I'm like, oh, it's a Maniac, like Maniac. I said, okay. And yeah, I was damn. Holy shit! Like we said before, never assume or judge. Probably if I heard Elijah Wood, would be like, "Are you kidding me right now?" Like, Frodo? Like, yeah, really? Like, okay, he's a nice guy. I've never heard a bad word said about the guy, or you never read any bad press. But he's way under the radar. Like, but holy shit, he killed it. No pun intended. Well, maybe. Oh, god damn, he did good. And pretty much when I saw it, I'm like, well, I guess they're going for not the greasy, creepy, scary guy walking the other side of the street to avoid, but they're going for like the Ted Bundy type. And sure as shit, and I've listened to the commentaries, that's pretty much the exact way they're going for. The doughy-eyed, innocent-looking nice guy next door who you kind of feel sorry for, not to excuse any of his deeds, but you understand him. And yeah, he fucking killed it. It's like, I believe he could be the Maniac.
Yeah, I would have to agree completely. And I remember initially, like you said, never had the preconceived notions and thoughts and stuff. But I remember reading so much and being like, man, like I do like P2. I like Frank Khalfon. I like that movie that he directed. So I'll give him a chance just for the filmmaker. But when I watched it, I was like, the number one thing that jumps out to me is the style. And they did a lot of it. Pretty much almost the entire film is through a POV style of shooting. And again, I remember reading that going, what are you trying to be, Halloween, whatever? That was my initial, I won't lie. I will never lie and say, hey, I knew it was going to be great. No, I was like, fuck, I don't know, man. I don't think you could remake Maniac. I don't think it could be as brutal. Boy, was I fucking wrong. This movie,
we're like a bunch of grumpy old men. What are they going to be like, Halloween?
It'll never be like the good old days when I went to the grindhouse theaters. It ain't popcorn. Never, you know. But
Banging our canes,
honestly, you know, it's just I always feel that way. Like say, like Nightmare on Elm Street, I was scared walking in. I walked out pissed. You know, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, same thing. This, it was the opposite. I walked out very pleasantly surprised. I loved the brutality in the film, the acting, especially from Elijah Wood. I
Yeah.
know the actress who plays his mother. She was also in the Friday 13th remake, America Olivo. Good looking woman. She's obviously she doesn't have that much to do, but I thought she was fine in the film. I think everybody in the comments mentioning how good the score is. Love the score of this movie.
Yeah.
I think really,
Great score.
yeah.
Rob.
What's that?
Rob. That's
Yeah.
the guy who did the score, Rob.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I was like thoroughly surprised with the score, and like somebody said, it was synth. I think it just added such a good, not an 80s feel, but a nice retro feel. And like it made me feel like I was watching a movie that was made at another time. And while it didn't become self-indulgent in that novelty, I think it was entertaining and brutal and scary and really well directed on its own two legs. That's what I think a lot of remakes should do is, okay, you're going to take the same story, you're going to take the same premise, do something else with it, make it interesting. And I liked the whole POV, of course, the opening kill with the knife to the mouth.
Yeah.
And then later there's a scene where you see this woman, she's walking in high heels and he's under the car and he just slices her Achilles tendon. I'm just like, oh my God, like,
Right.
fuck, man. She lets out a big scream, hits the pavement. I just was like, holy fucking shit. Like about 20 minutes in, I realized what I was watching was going to be a good remake. And I was like so along for the ride from there on out. I was like, yes,
Yeah.
fucking jackpot. I was really enthusiastic. What did you think of Frank Khalfon's directing this one? Did you like the POV style? And also with the brutality, because I know you were mentioning before, maybe some of the brutality in this didn't work, some of the CG, but did it work for you? Like, what were your thoughts on that brutality and the direct?
The POV stuff, yeah, it was definitely something different. I'm always willing to give it a shot. Yeah, I like that. Was a good idea. I like that, and you see him every once in a while in like a reflection, or holy shit, that moment when that is in the reflection of the car when he's standing there,
right?
That little fucking that I almost screamed when I saw. Oh, like, that was awesome! Like, I'm the only one here. But yeah, that was cool. But yeah, the first scene, I mean, it definitely draws you in. It drew me in. But then when you see it, like, oh, but they showed behind the scenes. It didn't. I don't think it was all CG. It was some CG, but I don't know. But I was going to look past it. The effects got better. For sure. That's another thing with the Blu-ray and a nice TV. It's like you're seeing everything. Then there's no little shadows to hide or mute out. The CG parts and stuff like that. But that was. I mean, damn. There were some good effects though too. Just as brutal as the original, if not even more. When he yanks the scalp. Holy shit! That shit was crazy.
Yeah, I thought, it's funny you say that. I think while they're both brutal films, and I mean, this is a brutal fucking film, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
This film, in a lot of ways, I felt was more mean-spirited. And I mean that in a good way. I thought because watching this, I was like, there's no way they could shock me like this movie did. Bullshit again. Yeah. I was pretty fucking shocked by some of this. Like you were saying, the scene where he has that woman down and she's, please don't kill me. He goes, I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to keep you. Wham! One full swoop and then pulls out and she screams like she's awake through all of it. I remember I had rented it on video on demand. I was sitting right here, like a little bit more to the right. I fucking jumped up too. I was like, oh shit. Like just being like looking around, like being like, wow, and like because in the original, he had the decency to strangle her before he scalped her, right? The opening victim. This
right, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I thought that was so mean-spirited, but amazing. Really well done. Horrific in the best way possible. And like you said with Elijah Wood, I thought, you know, in a lot of ways, and this might just be my thing, I felt it was even more scary that it wasn't shot like a normal film. You know what I mean? Like the POV, we always see him in reflections. Like we basically see this entire movie through the eyes of the maniac. And like I think if they had shot it more standard, I don't know how great of an impact it would have had. I think it really
Yeah.
that stylistic choice sets this remake apart from other remakes because again, it's not overexposure. It's just it's something different. It added, it didn't take anything away. And the stuff that the original does right, it takes that, executes it here. And I think just it blows me away. Did you like the stuff? I felt like this one personally that they got a little bit more into the mother aspect. Like they explain a little bit more. Did you like that they explained that stuff, or did you feel it was better just, like more implied like it is in this film?
Did you say the mother stuff?
Yeah, like did you like because I felt like in the remake they talked about it more.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I appreciate it for sure. I mean, you got the gist of it in the original for sure. But yeah, I didn't think it took away or anything. It definitely added to it a little bit. They touched on it in the original too, like your mommy or you're going out again or why some he's all the rambling that he does. It's like he's kind of giving you a bit of a story in the original, and then the remake they just kind of show you more. Mom was kind of a tramp,
Yeah,
you know.
I
But
liked
it was,
that though, and I thought those scenes were really like dreamsicle. Like I think he's walking on the street and he just looks to the right and he sees her, and like she's having sex with another man, and then whatever his vision is, and she's just looking directly into his eyes, and like I was
yeah,
just really like uncomfortable when I saw that. I was like, "Fuck!" Like
yeah,
this shit's weird to think about, but
that's a real shitty
again,
mom.
yeah, I guess so. But and that goes to show you, why he's so fucked up, right?
Right.
I liked that they got a little bit more personal with Frank, and like sometimes they could really hurt that, like they could really just explain too much. There are some movies that do that, like the Hills of Eyes remake. Oh, there was a nuclear plant and they fucking they got all mutated. No bullshit. Bullshit. That none of that shit happened. No, that's bullshit.
Yeah, I
This
like
though,
that. I like that.
oh, I can't. I actually love in the original how it's explained that like, he, she gave birth to a kid that nearly split her apart. He grabbed himself a whore. He ran out to the middle of the fucking hills, and now he's gonna. I love that. When I saw that, I was like, the fucking no, the military. What? Horrible. Oh God, I hate that remake too. I like aspects of it, but the story of that, I hate the shit they changed. I really do. Alex Ajad almost saved it for what it's worth, but
I like the bug spray around the scalps. Good touch. I mean, yeah,
oh, dude, yeah, no, that's
that shit would stink. I
yeah.
mean, unwashed hair smells bad enough, but an unwashed scalp probably really stinks.
stanky with
Yeah,
a capital
well,
SH, bro.
that's a nice
Um,
touch. I like that.
Yeah, no, yeah, I didn't even think of that. That's right. He does. That's pretty interesting. Like you don't think about shit like that, but I like they added that in there too. Like like that's what I think this does right. The shit it adds, it did not hurt it at all. It all added to the final product, and like I don't know, I think this is a really good remake. We got some comments. Let's see. Frank did an excellent job with it. Might be my favorite film that he's done. It's a shame he hasn't gone to do much except a film called I Live, Pray. I saw the Amityville film he did. Yeah, you're right. It is a shame because I think he's talented. I really like this NP2 a lot. Yeah, Yanking that scalp was fucking Wild West shit, dude. It really was. It really, really was. It blows my mind every time I see it.
Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, Red Dead. That's right. I got okay. I feel you. But what do you think? This remake does right that others do wrong, and like personally, like my thing with remakes is at this point too. I almost felt like it got to the point where it's like, they've remade everything else. I mean, Why not Maniac at this point? But do you think that there's something that these remakes that do get it wrong, like remakes you don't like, what do you think that those movies do wrong as opposed to what this movie does right?
Well, if you're just gonna rehash shit, regurgitate almost shot for shot or scene for scene, or what's the point then? Why would I go bother watching? I like a little bit of a twist. I like The Evil Dead was really good, and it was a little different. It added a little bit more to it. But stuff like it all started with Psycho.
Oh shit!
It's fun. But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna try and do something a little different and just not take away the original idea, I mean, I'd rather watch the original in all cases. But remakes have been around forever, and you kind of excused them back in the day because they would remake, a movie that was in black and white, or has a soundtrack, or something from the 30s was remade 30 or 40 years later when you had color and stuff like that. But you're remaking shit from like 2000, or 90s. It's like we have everything. We had the effects, we got color, we got sound. There was really no need to remake it. But you could tell when it's just a cash grab and when it's someone trying to add their own little thing or pay like respect or an homage or whatever you want to do. But like the last Halloween, they say they wanted a homage when they just fucking took most of the shit from the original and just rehashed it. There's a line where you once you go over that line, you're not paying homage anymore. You're just a piece of repeating shit.
Yeah, no, that's definitely. I agree with you. Hugo says not get Hollywood involved. I have to agree.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, with this was, I believe, an IFC produced film, and you could see that they let him do what he wanted to do. Like, it doesn't. Some of these movies, they feel very studio-esque, and I think that's what Hugo means. Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake, to me, why that doesn't work for me, it's too fucking polished. All the kids look Abercrombie and Fitch. It doesn't. There's nothing raw or chainsaw about that remake for me. You polished it up too much, and then sometimes they'll let directors do too much. Sometimes producers will just push into it, dabble into it till it's nothing. But I agree with him. I think that a studio like IFC, hey, are they going to break the bank? No. I believe the Maniac remake went straight to VOD. I don't think it really had that big of a theatrical run, if it had any at all. But you got a big enough star. I mean, you got somebody in Elijah Wood that people know. The movie looks good. You got good people working on the film. I mean, the good score. You got good effects. You've got a good overall look of the film. And I think that it went a long way. Maybe it doesn't have to be this big, $20-50 million movie. This movie, Maniac especially, what they make the original for? $400,000, and they made a perfectly great movie.
It's hard to remake a movie that costs a few $100,000 and remake it for 40-50 million or whatever they're doing, and still have that integrity, or whatever. That part of it's not paying for permits and doing DIY shit and getting your friends involved. And I don't think Joe Spinell didn't get paid for it. He got percentage.
He had 10% of the grossing, right?
Yeah. He didn't get a paycheck. Shit like that. No one's gonna work for free anymore. In the Hollywood setting, that you think, if someone go up to Robert Downey Jr., you mind making this? I'm not gonna say,
it's different time. It's a completely different time, and that's why I think a lot of I love 70s and 80s films probably the most, is because they do have that charm and they do have that passion. You get that vibe. And knowing what I know about Joe Spinell is that he was always the side guy, and hey, this is my big chance at being the lead. And I care about it so much that I'll take a percentage, even if it flops, I'll take a risk on myself just to be the guy that carries the film. There's something really noble in that, I think. And it adds a lot to why I watch his performance, and knowing that this was personal to him and that he was never going to be the star of The Godfather or the star of Rocky. He could be a side player in those, but giving him his actual chance, I thought that's what was so beautiful and wonderful about his performance in the original film. And like,
Yeah.
here, I see a lot of that. I see a lot of passion too. I think Frank Khalfon was a student of the game. You know, he of course he was an Alex Aja guy. He made P2, which I thought was a really, really fun, like, thriller slash slasher slash just chase
Oh,
movie.
yeah,
Fun
that was a
movie.
nice surprise, that movie. I was surprised at how good that was.
Me too. I thought, no way this will work. And I think because of him, I think it worked. And I think the same thing here. I really think they picked the right guy to helm this. And I think all the creative decisions he made, it still felt fresh, even though it was something that he was remaking. It never, like, went, you were saying, that fine line that the new Halloween crossed and some of these other remakes they crossed. I never felt that line was crossed. If anything, I felt it did everything right that the original did, and I think the stuff that it did new, it just nailed it. I thought it was really, really well done.
Yeah, for sure it was. And like a good wrestling match, you have your beginning, your middle, and the end, and you leave it up to the guys that fill in the rest. That's maybe what more of these guys making a remake should do. Just have your beginning, your middle, your end, and don't fill it up with a bunch of the same old shit. Fill it up with some different stuff,
Yeah. It's not rocket science. Sometimes I think less is more, and this is one of those remakes that does that. It doesn't really did not try to reinvent the wheel or anything. Oh no, IFC were involved. They were. They also. This was around the time they put out Human Centipede. IFC was big into horror at this time because that was a big hit. And Maniac and Dracula 3. I mean, granted, Dracula 3 is horrible, but those movies were all IFC films, which is crazy enough. But I don't know. I think they put out some good stuff at that time. Buried Hatchet Productions writes in, what's your guys' favorite subgenre of the horror? Welcome to the stream, Buried Hatchet Productions. AJ, I'll let you answer first. You're my guest. What's your favorite subgenre of horror, good brother?
Probably slashers. That's what I guess that's what I had the most of. I think, or talk about the most, or most. My first, what I seen first, your Halloween, prom nights, your terror trains, all that stuff with my intro to horror. So it'd have to be slasher.
Yeah, can't go wrong with slasher. Those are super popular too. I'll probably say I'm a big exploitation guy. Love, like he was saying before, early 70s, just like gritty grindhouse movies like Texas Chainsaw, Last House on the Left. Those movies, that's like my shit. Even, I know it's not a horror movie, but Clockwork Orange, like any movie made at that period of time that really went for it and was just, it didn't give a fuck. I love horror movies like that just completely just, flipped off the era, if you will, and just went for it. I'm a big fan of exploitation horror. I loved the return to Grindhouse when Tarantino and Rodriguez teamed up. That was really cool for me. Death Proof, I loved. I don't know. I like that era. Even the silly ones, like Invasion of the Bee Girls, shit like that. Like, I watch that shit all day. I get a kick out of it. Like anything Don Jones ever made, like Schoolgirls in Chains, love that movie. The Forest, which The Forest is a slasher film. I always remember seeing The Forest when they fucking they eat that guy's like wife. Like they kill her and then like they're eating this barbecue and they realize that it's the guy's wife and like the guy's face. I remember as a kid being like, holy fucking shit, love Butcher. I love Don Jones is a legend. And then even some of the trauma stuff, Blood Sucking Freaks, movies like that. Love Mother's Day, love shit like that. Any like exploitation grindhouse shit. That's definitely would be my answer. Just
what do we put Cannibal Holocaust under? Is that found footage or exploitation or?
I would say cannibal exploitation, and it is kind of the first. That's three different. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I always say cannibal film with that because that's the cannibal film. I mean,
right?
It's that Deep River Savages, Cannibal Ferox, aka Make Them Die Slowly, which I think is a way better title. Mountain of the Cannibal God. That was the time where all the Italians were like trying to outdo each other. Like, oh, you think you'll have a good Italian cannibal movie? In my movie, we will have the girl fucking a pig. They would just go do it. and would just be like, holy fucking shit, that's Ursula Andress showing her titties. Like, oh my God. But that was just a great era. I love shit like that. Like, outdo me, you know, and that's what they did. Eaten Alive. That's one, you know, I'd love to give that a watch, a rewatch. Just because the style and like the colors in that movie just blew my mind. Like, I was like, wow, like this is a pretty interesting film. I watched The Funhouse earlier this week. I really enjoy that. Everything exploitation, found footage, video, nasty, cannibal, highly offensive. I would agree with that completely.
This guy, yeah, if you know this guy, oh yeah, he ain't
fucking. Is he on Instagram?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll send you one of his a link to him. He's
yeah, totally cool guy. Do. I've never had the pleasure of speaking, but I think Mr. Hugo, I think he has an excellent taste in the horror genre, because that's definitely my avenue as well.
He's a dirty boy.
Dirty boy, dirty child.
But yeah, with the cannibal films too, it's like Eli Roth tried the Brown Inferno. Was that Brown Inferno?
It should have been called the Brown Inferno. It was the Green Inferno.
Oh, green. That's a green. Brown is what it was.
Yeah, it was shit. With like corn.
He tried. I mean, I don't know what to think about him, because when Hostel came out and all that stuff, it's like, oh, this is crazy shit. But I don't know if he tries too hard, or if he just thinks he's. I mean, he's honest. He's a fan for sure, but it's like I don't know. I really don't know what to think of him.
It's funny. Like, on paper, we should like him because he is a fan and he's been successful enough. But like, honestly, almost all his films I don't like. Like, I didn't like.
I haven't even seen all of them. So
yeah, it's just, I don't know. There's something about them. And like, I think personally, he sees the original Cannibal Holocaust as just like the violence and reputation. I get it, and that's why that movie is famous. But there's so much more to that. It's such a deep movie that even people that love it like me, don't give it credit for. It's like that movie's actually trying to make a statement about how the New York City film preps are the true cannibals in that movie, not the tribe that they meet and encounter. It's them. It's these New York City savages that go and rape this poor girl. Yeah. And of course, they meet their ultimate demise. And I think the last line of the film, I wonder who the real cannibals really are. To me, the scariest thing in that movie is the lead film prep guy and looking for his footage. He's the scariest thing about that movie. I don't think Eli Roth sees it like that. I think Eli Roth sees they killed real animals. Oh, all right. They showed shit. They showed this, that, and the other. Like, to me, for him, it's a lot of the fat. And sometimes I love the fat. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big boy. I love the fat in horror.
Yeah.
But I think with his movies, there's no tender spot. There's no passion, for lack of a better word. That's my disconnect with Eli. I think I like the guy he doesn't come off as a bad guy, but his films,
I don't know. I think maybe he tried to remake Cannibal Holocaust, but not tell everyone he was trying to remake it with that movie. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know.
Something. I've only watched it once. Maybe I'll try it again, but I don't know. Everyone I talk to, a lot of people I talk to, that movie is just doesn't work. So maybe it's how back when it was when Cannibal Holocaust was made, that the whole thing was together, like the grittiness and the time, and like all these other movies that were made back then. It's like you just can't capture that time in a bottle. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it just can't do it now.
You can't. I don't know. I agree with you completely. It's not, you can't attempt to catch lightning in a bottle. It just happens. Like,
right.
That's why Texas Chainsaw Massacre works. I don't think Tobe Hooper started to film the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and was like, this is the next horror classic. No, he just was trying to make a movie.
Yeah.
And he just,
I got an idea and I need some money.
Yes. And he just kind of fell into what the end product of that was, which changed the genre forever, and you can't try to do that. I think you'll always fail. It's like 100% you'll always fail if you're trying to reinvent the wheel. The Flow Chamber says, did y'all watch Hemlock Grove? I did not. Did you?
Mm-hmm.
No, we have
That's
not. Should we watch it, Flow Chamber? Let us know. I love the Funhouse. I know people don't love the slow build, but I think it worked out. I'm going to Toby Hooper Marathon. Yeah, no, I would like to do a show on Toby Hooper. I want to do Life Force, that, maybe Eaten Alive, Salem's Lot. He's made a lot of stuff that I do enjoy watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor guy's a huge fan of horror, but his movies, yeah, I feel the same way up with Eli. He's lucky he's got QT putting up $20 million for him to make Hostel 2, which grossed like $8 million. Yeah, I'd agree with that. At least Rob has a better style. At least I'll say that.
I like. I get a lot of shit for it here, but I like Rob Zombie. I like his music. I like the movies. They're not all, winners, but the one Three from Hell was probably my least favorite as of right now. Of his,
Yeah.
but I had fun with all of them.
So did I. I like
all like the same. You always get the hillbillies or the whatever the fuck they are, the set in the 70s or dirty hippies or whatever the hell they are seem to be a theme, but whatever. I like them. I like the Halloween. Well, Halloween 2.
Where's your white horse?
Yeah, but that too. I was like, never take the place of the original, but he kind of did his own little thing with it a little bit. So I'd rather watch the Rob Zombie one than the 2018 one. That's just me, though.
I'm with you, bro. We'll watch Malcolm McDowell and Therapy Trial all day over the Dr. Sartain bullshit. I'm with you, brother.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like Eli Roth too. I'm sorry, Rob Zombie. Lords of Salem, House 1000 Corpses, Devil's Rejects. These are some of my favorite movies. Absolutely love them.
Yeah.
But I figure we could get into it, Mr. Zetro. We can get into finale. But actually, we can rank the new man. What did you think of the Maniac remake out of 10 if you had to rate it?
Give it an 8.
An 8? Okay, I'll go 8 too. I'll meet you right there too. So 9 for the original, 8 for the remake. 2 wonderful films. Highly recommend them both.
Yeah.
And I think both of us definitely want to see the original Maniac 2, Mr. Robbie. That would have been really cool if they had gone ahead and feature length that movie. It would have been cool. But we've got here tonight a little bit different of an ending to the show. We've got a little bit of horror trivia. So everybody here, this is a first time only, so I don't know how this will go. Hopefully it goes well and everything. Mr. Zetro and me, sometimes we played trivia on his Instagram channel live, which is a lot of fun. I may have won a couple times. But I figured why not have AJ on and give him, Ric Flair. I figured why not have him on and do a little horror trivia quiz of my own. I've named it, you can't see it, but it says, who wants to be a graveyard tombstone? So if you win, I will somehow make a tombstone inspired by you somewhere, and it'll be placed in the graveyard. So,
let me just preface it by saying I'm never good at any trivia. I did win once at the brewery by me, but I'm no good with names. I'm no good with characters, directors, titles. I'm no good with any of that. I'm good with years if it's between 1970 and 1991. I'm pretty good with years. Anything else, though, it's just I'm better at giving it.
Well, we're going to find out tonight because we've got 13 questions. I've given you 3 lifelines. So this is just like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
You got me nervous, but just so you know.
You should.
Payback's a bitch.
Oh, wait, I got mine. Hold on. I got mine. Here. I got mine too.
If I do good, I won't. If I won't do it. But if I shit it up, you're gonna have to shit up too with me.
That's fine. That's totally fine. I'm cool with that. I personally made this myself. Didn't take this from anybody. I fact checked them all, so I promise there is no answers that I thought was the right answer and it's wrong. I fact checked them all. You've got 3 lifelines. You have got an Ask the Chat, which our chat will be hopefully playing along with us. I advise you not to look at the chat. They're all going to be multiple choice. So no cheating, Mr. Z, even though I know you never would. There's an Ask the Host, which keep in mind, I wrote the test. But I promise, if there's one you don't know, odds are I fucking know it. And then number 3, a 50-50.
Okay.
So we'll take away 2 wrong, keep 1 right and the other wrong answer. So
they're
you
all
can use
multiple
these
choice.
whenever. Yeah, I encourage you to use them. You know, I've got a couple layups in here for you. I know you love Fulci, but we got a
That
couple.
don't mean anything.
Oh, if you don't know your Fulci, pal, I don't know, brother. We got to get you.
As long as it's not a title or a name or a character.
Well, fair enough. We're gonna get underway here. You know, the Graveyard Tombstone Trivia Quiz. Question numero uno. You ready?
Go for it.
In 1974, Bob Clark made iconic slasher film Black Christmas. However, what was the initial horror film Bob Clark directed? Is it A, Death Dream, B, Let Sleeping Corpses Lie, C, The Dead Hate the Living, or D, Tales from the Crypt?
A, Death Dream?
Correctamundo, Mr. Zetro. You're on the board. Who needs lifelines?
I'm all done.
Yeah. 1-0, retired, 1,000 winning percentage.
I don't want to press my luck.
No, you got to walk away when you know to walk away. This one, question number 2, this should be a layup. I think not even a layup. This is a slam fucking dunk Zetro here, okay? Question number 2. Which of these directors directed The New York Ripper? A, Wes Craven, B, Ruggero Deodato, C, Jorge Grau, D, Lucio Fulci.
Mr. Fulci, D.
Yes, he faded away. Slammo jamma, just like one of his favorite Chicago Bulls. He's on a roll.
Thank you for that.
I inform you, things will only get harder as this goes along.
I can only imagine.
I promise. But good start, a very good start.
Get you loosened up.
Question number 3. This is where I gave this test to one other person before because I had to test it on somebody. This was where he initially lost on the test, so no pressure.
Great.
Which pair of horror directors have never worked together with each other on a film? Is it A, George Romero and Dario Argento, B, John Carpenter and Tobe Hooper, C, Wes Craven and David Cronenberg, or is it D, Clive Barker and David Cronenberg?
Ooh.
And if you need me to reread any of these and the answers and stuff, I will be more than willing.
Which duo has not worked together?
Which one of those 4? Yeah, do you want to repeat them?
Yeah.
Okay, so A, Romero and Argento, B, Carpenter and Hooper, C, Craven and Cronenberg, D, Barker and Cronenberg.
C.
You are correct, Mr. Zetro. 3-0. Who's better than this guy? Of course, that final. See, a couple of those were tough because Barker and Cronenberg, they worked together, but Cronenberg was an actor for Clive Barker's Nightbreed. So they worked together, but they didn't direct it together. So
that's where I was leaning at first. So, but no.
That's what he guessed as well. He guessed that, and I said no.
I saw what you did there.
Yeah, a little different, because I throw director, and you're like, wait a minute, did those 2 collab? Clive Barker made 3 movies, but that's a cool trick. But you got it. All right, this would be a slam dunk, I think.
Oh God,
what is the birth name of horror character the Tall Man? Is it A, Jeffrey Bruckner, B, Jebediah Morningside, C, Jebediah Sawyer, or D, Ron Coscarelli?
I think it's B.
You are correct. Jebediah Morningside. Correct the mundo. Fucking around with time trial in Morningside. Yes. Morningside. Was it a church or a funeral home? It was a funeral home. Morningside Funeral Home. That's what it was.
Say the name again, though.
Jebediah Morningside.
Okay.
Why?
I always forget it.
Well, you got it right. I mean, you're on a roll, man. 4 in a row. You still got 3 lifelines. I'm thinking this tombstone might be coming through. Question number 5. This is where from here on out, it's going to be pretty consistently fucking hard.
Yeah.
John Carpenter directed numerous great films. However, only one featured an actor or actress who was then in turn nominated for an Oscar for their performance. Which actor and or actress received the Oscar nom? Was it A, Kurt Russell for Elvis, B, James Woods in Vampires, C, Jeff Bridges in Starman, or D, Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween?
That's a good one. What happens if I get one wrong then? Is it the game over or what?
Well, we'll keep going to the end, but I insist if you think you're going to get it wrong, feel free to use a lifeline. Granted, I don't know if the chat is the chat hasn't mentioned anything, so I don't know if we have the ask the chat lifeline.
I want to say Kurt Russell with Elvis.
Is that your final answer?
My final answer.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Zetro. It was not Kurt Russell for Elvis. That, in fact, was a TV movie. It was Jeff Bridges in Starman. He received Oscar.
That's what I was going to say. Second.
You should have used your lifelines. I would have 50-50 Kurt Russell out of there, brother. That's a tough one, though. That I would have guessed that, too, if I didn't make it.
I was torn between those two.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Oh, Aiden got it. Aiden, where were you, brother? He needed you. Jeff Bridges, I can't get no banana satisfaction. You can still use your lifelines, though. Question number 6. This one you might need a lifeline. I don't know. What is the third film in the Universal Frankenstein film series? Is it A, Son of Frankenstein, B, Bride of Frankenstein, C, Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, or D, Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein?
Son of Frankenstein.
Correctamundo. Zero hesitation, zero regrets. I gotta love it. Hugo agrees. That was a tough one. I agree. It is. I apologize. I went maybe a little too hard with some of these.
No.
I thought it was fun. I don't know. That was a good because I would have guessed Kurt Russell too if I didn't do the I was like, oh shit, that's the only one. So I thought that would be a fun one to add. Question number 7. We're getting some Scream Queen action in here, baby. You ready for this? All right. Legendary Scream Queen Barbara Steele did not appear in which one of these 4 films? A, The Butterfly Room, B, Black Sunday, C, Shivers, or D, Blood and Black Lace?
I think it was Shivers, wasn't it?
Which one did she not appear in?
Not appear in Shivers?
She was in Shivers. She was actually in the iconic bathtub scene when she gets attacked. Didn't you just watch Shivers too?
Yeah.
Zetro, missing out on these questions. It was actually D, Blood and Black Lace. She was in The Butterfly Room was a more recent one. That's a great movie. Highly recommend that to anybody. Black Sunday was the movie that made her career, and then Shivers, a bit role, but a memorable one in the bathtub. That's a horrifying.
Well, see, I only saw 2 of those 4, so.
Oh, okay. Well, wait, which 2 haven't you seen?
The first one you said?
Okay.
And the Blood and the Black, was it? Did you say the
Blood
last
and
one?
Black Lace. Dude, highly recommend that one. That one's like if Scream and Suspiria had a baby. It's like amazing. It's a really good film. Here's more of an 80s centered question for you, all right? Who said this epic line? Eat a bowl of fuck. I'm here to party. Was it A, Andres Jones in Sorority Babes and the Slime Bowl Ballerama? Was it B, Zach Galligan in Waxwork? Was it C, Hal Havens in Night of the Demons? Or was it D, Hot Rod himself, Roddy Piper, in They Live?
I believe that was Night of the Demons.
That was Night of the Demons. That was my boy Hal fucking Havens, baby.
This guy, right?
Yeah, Pig Nose. He goes, eat a bowl of fuck. I'm here to party. One of my favorite lines in the history of cinema. Every time I hear it, I just mark out. I absolutely love that line. Long live Mr. Hal Havens and Night of Demons. I love that movie. Okay, this is a really hard one. Really super hard. And if people in the chat get this, hats off to y'all. Which one of these horror films was shot in 7 days? A, The Blair Witch Project. B, The Battery. C, Paranormal Activity. D, The Ring.
What was filmed in 7 days?
Which one of these movies, it took just 7 days to film from, pre-production, post-production, that was it.
I think I might have to have a 50-50 on that one.
50-50. All right. So we're going to take away 2 incorrect answers. We're going to take away The Ring and the Blair Witch Project. So it's going to be down to B and C, The Battery or Paranormal Activity.
Oh, man, I don't know. I haven't seen The Battery, so
you got to guess. 50-50.
We'll go Paranormal Activity.
Correctamundo, Mr. Zetro. Who's better than this guy? Oh, we stumped Aiden. This is the first time we stumped Aiden. The Battery. He guessed The Battery. No, believe it or not, Paranormal Activity was shot in 7 days and then became one of the highest grossing horror movies, I believe, of that year, which is unbelievable. 1 week of work and the phenomenon that it's. Granted, I'm not a big fan of that film, but it's no small feat of what they were able to accomplish in 7 days. It's just incredible. Here's one that Aiden will love, because I know he's a big Romero guy. Tom Savini was not involved in which one of these George Romero films? A, The Dark Half, B, Monkey Shines, C, Martin, D, Two Evil Eyes. It's really hard.
The Monkey Shines.
Close, but no cigar. It was The Dark Half.
Okay.
I was shocked too. I thought for sure Monkey Shines. Aiden got it. The Dark Half. Yes, sir. You are correct. Even though, because it's funny, the opening scene of that has like this really like gross special effect with the eye coming out of the guy's brain. I thought for sure Tom Savini had to have been involved in that, but he was not. So that one, it was Two Evil Eye. Not Two Evil. I'm sorry. The Dark Half.
Dark Half. Okay.
Number 11. This one might be the hardest. This one and the next one are the hardest too on this entire. So best of luck. Director Dario Argento's first feature-length film shot entirely in America. Keep in mind, feature-length.
Oh, God. The
Stenhole Syndrome, Trauma, Phenomena, Phantom of the Opera. I give a slight hint here. He made a film with George Romero that was shot in America with Harvey Keitel, Two Evil Eyes, but it was not feature-length. That technically was the first film he shot in America, but this next one was the first feature-length film he shot in America.
First feature-length film he shot in America.
Yes. Aiden guesses Trauma.
That's what I was going to guess.
Do you want to guess it?
Yeah.
Trauma is correct. Mr. Zetro. Dude, you're doing great. I think you did a great job. This is excellent shit. Last two here, though. Last two. He's blotting himself. This is a fun one. Horror movie tagline trivia here. What horror movie is this the tagline from? Here's the tagline. Daddy's Gone A-Hunting. A, The Stepfather. B, The Forest. C, Just Before Dawn. D, Butcher Baker, Nightmare Maker.
Oh my God. What are my lifelines that are left?
You can ask the chat or you could ask me.
Well, asking you is just telling me the answer, then, isn't it?
I guess so. Yes. I guess you could ask the chat twice if you want. The chat is in the play. The last two questions.
Just fuck it. I'm just gonna say The Forest.
Correct. Wow. I'm shocked. I'm fucking shocked you got that. How did you get that? Wow. Dude, I thought the choices too. Like I'll toot the horn here. I thought The Stepfather was such a good, like, Daddy's Gone Hunting. Of course,
it was either
Stepfather. You know?
It was either that one or the Butcher Baker fucking candlestick maker or whatever.
The Candlestick Maker. They have to make that horror movie. The Forest, Mr. Zetro, you were correct. I'm mind blown you got that. Last one. This was the $1 million question here. This is I don't know. I thought the previous one was the hardest, but here we go. Which one of these films was not a part of the original 72 video nasties? Was it A, The Fun House, B, Unhinged, C, The Witch Who Came from the Sea, or D, Maniac?
C.
Incorrect. You know what it is? It's Maniac.
Is it really? How did
Yes.
they let that go?
I put that as the finale question because I was like, he'd never, like, it's too obvious. But this, I don't know how this was not a video nasty, but it was not.
Really?
Yes,
See,
this, and believe it or not, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, neither was a video nasty. Technical video nasties.
No shit.
Yeah, I believe Texas Chainsaw was on the Section 3 back when, that was like years later, but the original 72, this and the original TCM were not on that list.
Yeah, I had a feeling you'd try and throw one at me. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way it's not. Fucking Evil Dead's on there, right?
Yeah, Evil Dead's on there. The Burning, the Funhouse. Yeah. The Funhouse. There's like no gore in the Funhouse. Why is that on video nasties? Like,
wow.
I think it's fucking strange. I don't know, but dude, you did great. What'd you get? 10 out of 13. That's great.
You tell me. I wasn't keeping score.
I was keeping score. I believe you got 3 wrong out of 13. So that's 10 out of 13. And you didn't use 2 lifelines. So imagine if you had, that would have been either 11 or 12, which is incredible. You did a great job, man. That was, I gotta give him a clap. Clap up for the Zetro, everybody in the chat, man. Hey, you're a champion in my eyes. You're a world champion.
Well, you always win though, so
I'm coming back for my title, Zetro.
Well, let's give you six of them. How about that? You want to do 6?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. These aren't. There's no multiple choice in this shit. So.
Oh, so do I get lifelines at least? Do I get ask the chat?
You can have as many lifelines as you want. But you know, it's a Trivial Pursuit one. So, all right, the first one. Actually, this one is a multiple choice. My bad. See, I'm not. I want to start doing more trivia, but I got to get some fucking readers or magnifying glass because this shit is just too small for my old ass eyes. All right, first question. In The Wolfman, 1941.
Ooh, Lon Chaney.
What character finally stops the Wolfman? Sir John Talbot, Gwen Conniff, I can't read this shit, Frank Andrews, or Colonel Paul Montford?
Frank Andrews.
Correct answer is Sir John Talbot, the father of Lawrence Talbot.
Oh, wow. You got me, Mr. Zetro. One question. You got me.
All right. Next
still the
one.
Champ.
What's that?
You're still the champ.
Next one. In Teeth, 2007. Do you see Teeth? Oh,
yeah, that was a fun one for sure.
What is the name of the Christian abstinence group that protagonist Dawn O'Keefe is the spokesperson of?
The name of the abstinence group? Fuck. Jesus Christ. All I know is that movie made me scared of sex for at least because I was like, what the fuck, man? Wow. What was the name of the group?
I saw it once and that was enough for me. So
yeah, no, I loved it. I sort of loved it because it was just like so like 70s. Like it just felt, even though it was a more current film. I liked Dimension Extreme at that time. The shit they put out was fun. I honestly don't have a clue. Is it something like religious, like the Lord of Chastity Belts? I have no fucking idea. Hugo says vagina dentata. Yeah, we'll go with that for sure. Teeth is a porno. L joke. Yeah, you know, I have no idea. I don't know.
Promise.
Okay, simple enough.
Promise.
Stumped me twice, guys. The eggs on my face.
I didn't write them though. So
Promise.
I didn't write them.
Simple.
All right. Next question. What actor played the titular character in Jacob's Ladder? 1990. Should know that one, right?
Oh, that is Tim Robbins.
Correct. Very good. Next question. What E.T. actor also appeared in Ouija, Origin of Evil, 2016?
What the fuck? What
actor from? Yeah.
Wow. Is it the kid that played Elliot? Is the lead kid that grown up? I
I'll
don't know the
take
actor.
that.
Yeah. All right, I'll
Yeah,
take it. The lead kid that played Elliot. I don't know the actor's name.
Henry Thomas.
Henry Thomas. I'll take it.
No, not an ET fan.
I like ET. I'm just not big on it as everybody else is.
Yeah, I didn't see it until probably high school. It was probably 10 when it finally came on in video. That was big news. I never
Yeah.
saw it as a kid, so all my friends had all the ET shit and all the stuff. I never saw it until later. And still, when I'm like, whatever, 16 when it came out.
I have the VHS in there somewhere. I have the original ET. It's amazing.
Watch it for a good cry.
I
All
should.
right. What actor played Detective Donald Kimball in American Psycho?
Defoe.
Willem Dafoe. Correct. And the last one here. In the Eye, 2002. Where is protagonist Mun from?
Where is she from? That's a Japanese film. So she's from Japan. Is it a city in Japan? Is it?
More specific, please.
So it's a city in Japan.
I think it's in Japan.
Well, I hope so. I'll say the easy one. Tokyo, Japan.
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. Oh shit. Well, no, that's not.
Then Japan.
I thought fucking. Isn't the Eye Japanese? I thought the original Eye was a Japanese horror film. I don't. Maybe it is a Hong Kong one. I don't know.
Is Hong Kong in Japan?
No. Oh, I seen the remake with Jessica Alba just because of her,
Yeah.
but I know that's in America. So I thought the original was a Japanese horror film. I need to double check. I could have swore the Eye was Japanese horror film. I'm going to double check here. The Eye.
I'm no good with places either.
Let's see.
That was good. Would you 3 out of 6? I think it was.
I got half. It is a Hong Kong horror film. I did not, and Singaporean. Didn't know that. Thought
There
it was
you go.
Japanese. So
I thought it was too.
Hong Kong. Everyone's cracking up in the chat.
Oh, there you go. See? Fuck.
Yeah, no, I don't know why, because that came around like The Grudge and
Yeah,
The
all that shit.
Ring. Like
When
that
they
was
were
the same
remaking.
era. So I just in my mind, those were all Japanese. But I should have thought it better. I should have thought about its own province. God damn it, it was Hong Kong.
I've been to Mexico. And that's it. So.
I mean, Devil's Backbone got some good.
I haven't been too many places. So, and that was Cabo, and Cabo was like, it's just like a fun place.
I'm sure it was fun. I've actually never been out of the States. I've never left the country. It's crazy, I know, but I guess I'm still young. So
Yeah. See, I was 29 when I went to Mexico. So.
Oh, okay. So I got a lot of
You
time.
got time. You got time.
Yeah, plenty of time. It's funny. Funny enough, Japan is one of the places I want to go because like their whole culture, they love horror, baseball, wrestling. Like that's my shit. Like
Yeah.
their big seafood culture. I'm just, like I just want to go there, eat an entire octopus. Go to the Tokyo Dome, watch some wrestling, come home with some horror VHS tapes and just call it a day. That would be my dream vacation, if you will.
I just want to go to the UK and have a pint and some fish and chips.
Who's better than you, man? That sounds like a nice little day to me.
That's where I want to go. Meet up with some of my pals from Instagram. Get shit-faced.
Sounds like a nice little trip, man. Why not? Maybe someday down the road when all this Corona shit ends.
You gotta lose some weight though. I can't. The planes are tight, man.
Yeah, they're especially tighter now that you can't sit on top of people with this whole Corona shit. But
yeah, no.
Well, Ronnie wants to
not
eat
bad.
pussy. Yeah, I don't. I do love
Very good. Very good. Uh-oh. You froze up again. Come back. Johnny, come back. Damn, I thought we were going to go the whole thing without getting locked up like this. Oh, shit. Now it's just me. I don't have the shoulders to carry a show. I don't even know where the fuck Hong Kong is at. We'll just put this up here for now until he comes back. There you go. Put that in there. There you go. Yeah. Johnny! Where did he go? We were just starting to wind down here.
We were just gonna wrap up too. We were just gonna wrap up, man. I got frozen.
I didn't want to just leave you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I apologize for that. My Wi-Fi was good all the way up to the last fucking minute of this, of course, man. Yeah, RP, rest in pepperonis, man.
I said, I don't have the shoulders to carry a show like this, man.
Dude, you're the best. Hey, you got more trivia questions right than I did. So,
yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, you are the true master, and I am still a Padawan learner.
Yeah, dumb luck.
I think you did great, personally. But I want to say thank you so much for coming on, showing your whole Maniac collection, talking all things Maniac with me. I had a fun time talking about this with you.
2 hours, man.
Dude, yeah, I love talking to you about anything and everything, man. We got a good, nice chemistry, man. I like talking to you.
Yeah.
So you're always more than welcome back on.
Same to you. What are you doing tomorrow? See you tomorrow.
got work, and then I'm chilling this weekend, baby. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I'm just excited. No more work, because working from home sucks, in my opinion. But
yeah, you like going in, huh?
I love going in. I hate, like, I have a shitty Wi-Fi connection, if you can't tell. So like working from home sucks. You'll be in the middle of something, and then like all of a sudden my Wi-Fi will crash and it's gone, and then I'm just like, well, shit. Like, so much for that. I have to restart what I was doing. You know, it's just
you have to take. Can you drive to work? You got to take subway, or
I drive to work now. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I'm stuck in here because of I have a family member that has corona, so
yeah.
Can't get anybody else infected at the workplace. We're working from home until she tests negative, which hopefully is as soon as humanly possible. Yeah, fingers crossed, toes crossed, all that good stuff. But man, thank you so much again.
Thank you, brother.
Always a blast. We'll be back next week. I'm not sure what the subject's going to be yet. Maybe Aiden got me on the Toby Hooper. I want to maybe do something Toby Hooper related. I don't know. I got to do the Teen Titans stuff. This 2, 3, 4, and 5 seasons. So this has been the Graveyard. This is Mr. AJ Zetro rocking his Maniac Joe Spinell stash / Hitler stash. I don't know. It's he's got the knife his dad gave him. Only the best, right? Only the best.
Maybe
until next time. It's a me, Mario.
Thanks again, buddy.
Yeah, dude, anytime. We'll catch you all next time only on the Graveyard. Too sweet. Peace. And we will catch you next time.